like he does it one stride early.
Yeah, correct. You know, I got my arms off of, I'm an old straddle jumper from back in the day. And my coach said, listen, find a way to make those arms work quicker, and that'll determine how fast you can approach the bar. It's a simple plan, but it worked. Here is Hill for his first attempt at 7.2½. I'm not certain why he passed. See, that's active arms the whole way. Comes forward to prepare, come back, come forward. Watch the arms.
In sync with your running as well. And that's what with Harrison that's tough. And try to, you know, if people don't understand that.
Up is. A lot of people think it should be, a 10 set should be 5 in a straight line and 5 in a curve, and that's just not correct. There's some transition steps in the middle there that are critical to getting you in the right position. That was a much better second attempt for Hill at 2.20 meters, but I really think he's out of his depth here. This is a personal best by 2 centimeters, and he's jumping against a guy who's jumped 7.5 3/4.
Well, there's one make did put him into sole second position, so, you know, why not pass, take it up, and see what you can do.
Absolutely.
Dwight, we were discussing guys in the U.S. that have the standard. Do you look at Javon Harrison and see 7.7 from him?
Yeah, I think that if he focused on the high jump, he could be a real good high jumper, but he's also a really good long jumper. But my fear is that he's just good enough at each of them to be like 6th or so at the trials. Whereas if he picked one over the other, he has a shot at making the team. So third attempt coming up for Dontavious Hill of Auburn. He has 2 misses at 2.20 meters, 7.2½. He passed 7.1½ after clearing 6.11 3/4 with a slight brush on the way down on his very first attempt. So he is, if he goes out here, he has second place wrapped up. 8 points for Auburn. And they get extra time when they just are down to 2. They get 3 minutes.
I think he's going to pass on his final attempt at this height.
And force Harrison to jump. Well,
but if you're Harrison, you pass.
Or do you take the bait? Why do you take the bait?
So if he passes the third attempt, is he passing it to the next height? If he does, he's still first up. So it's like when you don't really gauge your putt very well, still your turn.
You're still out.
That's still it. Yeah, he's still up.
Do you think Harrison's better than one of the other? Because when you're in college, right, a lot of that is, hey, we need points, so we're going to run you in both. And now if you're out on your own and you're a pro and you can decide one, do you think there's one that he should favor?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that his high jump technique needs quite a bit of work. And he, I believe, is a better technical long jumper, and he's a speed guy. So his speed is much better suited for the long jump. He'd have to become much more disciplined about position with the high jump, and he would need to work on his layout because he's got those long limbs. So the bar is now being raised to 7.3 3/4, 2.23 meters. Dontavious Hill has 2 misses at 7.2½. He's passed his final attempt to this. He gets 1. That's it. It's a make or a miss. That's not a terrible attempt for a guy with a personal best of 7.1 3/4. It's kind of a gutsy move. You got to give him that. But he is out. He will finish second. And now we will see if Javon Harrison just takes his victory and his clearance at 7.2½ and prepares for the long jump, or if he's going to attempt this height. He is the next up in the order.
Trying to see if he's untying those shoes or lacing them up tighter. That might tell you right there.
That would be my advice. So the high jump, men's high jump concludes with Javon Harrison winning the competition at 2.20 meters, 7.2½. Dontavious Hill of Auburn getting second. So that's about the way we expected it to happen on paper. And they can now focus their attention. He and Mr.